the challenges that today's supply chain managers have to deal with are way harder than they used to be. I mean, imagine going to your boss and saying, I'm going to give you poor service, it's going to take longer, but it's going to cost you more than it did ever before. I mean, that's insane. End-to-end visibility is a term that's been around in the transportation industry for a number of years. And in today's international transportation, there's shipping by ocean, by air, by rail, by truck, and then there's parcel and less than container load. There's all kinds of different ways to get shipping accomplished. And what customers of FourKites really are looking for is to be able to understand where is the cargo at any given point in time. In some ways, today's digitization of international shipping information has advanced way beyond what it was even 5 years ago. Some of those players are actually quite advanced in the technologies that they can bring to the table, while other players are really quite primitive in what they do. And today's supply chain managers have to deal with that very fact. And so if supply chain visibility was sort of important to you in the past because you did want to know where your containers were, and your customers want to know when are you going to fill the shelves and when is my item going to be available. So these are normal just customer service questions. But now we know with the constraints at the ports and all the other issues affecting the supply chain that it's harder to make those predictions. And it's harder to see around the corners for what's going to be the next disruption. And you as a supply chain individual, your job really is to be able to find those anomalies and exceptions and then go deal with them. And so what FourKites does is we bring that information together from the very beginning of the shipment all the way through to the end of the shipment. And our customers are looking for this thing called OTIF, or on time and in full, right? So as a buyer, you want to buy something and you want to make sure that everything you bought comes on time and all of it comes. And so what FourKites really does is we help those customers be able to track their shipments, understand where they are, and then take action if something happens in the interim. I mean, the great thing about transportation is when it works, it's fabulous, but the reality is it doesn't always work.
You see this ship out here? Carrier may have told you that it's already arrived. It's actually sitting at an anchorage in the San Francisco Bay. Now, FourKites can tell you not only where exactly that ship is, but we're also going to tell you when it arrives at the berth and when that cargo of yours gets unloaded. That's what you really need to know.
There's delays, there's accuracy issues, and there's the latency of when that event happens to when we get it. And so what FourKites is all about is being able to digitize that entire ecosystem and provide very easy application program interfaces, or what we call APIs, that allow all the parties of the ecosystem to be able to share that data in real time.
Visibility is not just dots on a map. It's a single pane of glass that gives you actionable insight into all of your international supply chain. That single pane of glass includes all the modes of transportation, from ocean, rail, air, over the road, and it also includes the points in between, the handoffs, and the data that you get from the terminals and all the constituents in the supply chain. That's why customers come to FourKites, so that they can get that data and use it to make actionable insights into their supply chain.